I remember dating a couple guys that didn't like that I was a comedian.
I like to hear this.
Oh, okay.
This is good.
I remember dating this guy. He was an art dealer.
Yes.
And I think I met him at a function. You meet a lot of these guys. Never a good idea to meet a guy when you're in your Raiderette uniform. Never a good idea.
Yeah.
And one of my jokes came from that because I said, I'm not just a cheerleader, I'm also a comedian. He goes, a comedian? Are you funny?
The face you make. Everyone gets that face.
Are you funny? And no idea how insulting that is. So I said, well, what do you do? He goes, well, I'm a carpenter. I said, oh, a carpenter. Can you walk on water?
So what happened?
He had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And this other guy, you never forget, I know a lot of ladies can relate to this. You never forget those guys where you feel like smashed down, and you get enough of those. And then I meet my great husband who is like in the front row. You've met him.
I love Craig.
Yeah.
Sweetheart. One of your biggest fans.
Yeah. Always in the front row. So the art dealer guy, we're going out and I figured, well, he's being himself. He's showing me all his artwork. I think I'd like to be myself. So I told him a couple jokes and he said, that's enough of that. And I said, and that's enough of you.
So what happened? So what happened?
Just took a taxi, went home.
Wow. So you were it was just you and him?
No, we're at a party or whatever.
And people were laughing.
Yeah.
So you're having a good time.
Yeah.
Being yourself.
Being myself. And that was my test with Craig when we were dating. That was my test. Are you going to squash me?
Yeah.
Or are you going to laugh at my jokes? And I was really nervous about it because I liked him. I liked him. And I remember I was telling him a story out of the Bible about Youre.
Oh, Youre.
Yeah. So I believe, about Youre, how she fed cheese and wine to the guy that was trying to annihilate her people. And so the cheese first, and he was so thirsty that he had to have the wine afterwards. And then he was drunk, passed out, and she cut off his head.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. That took a turn.
Yeah, that took a turn. Yeah, because I just told you the wrong story. That wasn't the story.
Oh.
I told Greg, this happens. These are called little baby senior moments.
This happens.
Now,
I get them, yeah.
This was the story of Purim. This was the story of Purim, Esther and Mordecai. So in order to go up to King Ahasuerus at that time, who was, in order to have, it's not like you can knock on Jamie's door and say, hey, do you have a minute? No. If you went up to him without a meeting, you would lose your head. Nobody did that. You could not go up and say, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? He's like you, very popular, and he needs all of his guards. So, but she took a risk. Esther took a risk, and she was really scared. And she said, can I talk to you? And since she was his favorite, he said, okay. And she was like, phew. So when I told Craig, I said, phew, he thought for some reason that was really funny.
Okay.
And even though it wasn't a joke, he started laughing, and I said to myself, phew, like I could keep dating him.
Yeah.
So little by little, I would leak out these little biblical stories, and then I'd turn them into jokes to test him to see.
A lot of Bible talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, at the time I was,
Yeah. You were thumping it.
Yeah, I was coming out of the hood.
Yeah.
I was very religious, so religious that I was walking backwards so I could face east. But, folks. But stay tuned for my movie. It'll cover everything. But anyway, that's what was my test when I was dating.
Uh-huh.
Am I allowed to be funny, too?
Yeah.
Because he's funny. It takes somebody very confident who's funny in their own right in order to have a spouse, female spouse, that's funny as well, I think.
I love a funny woman.
Yeah. I see that. You told me that's a Tonight Show set. So that was great. That's why we're friends.
Well, if you're funny, that just adds so much more.
Right. But there are smashers out there.
I love that. They're gonna take that a different way, but you mean smash down.
Yeah.
They want you small.
Yes, small. Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I fight with people like that, but not with that, with other parts of my personality. But now it's like I want to be all of who I am. Now there are times where I've been in relationships and I feel like they're not accepting all of me, but there are actually certain things that they're trying to say, hey, maybe that's not a good thing that you should keep doing.
Oh, that's good.
And I actually think that's sometimes
big.
Yeah. So sometimes I'm like, maybe they're not smashing me. They're just kind of saying, hey, that's not a best trait of yours. I say to Craig, and that's a good thing.
I say, do you think that's bringing us closer or further away? Isn't that a good line?
That's great.
When he has behavior that I don't care about,
Or you don't like.
That I don't like, care for.
Yeah.
He's got this line that he does. I go, babe, can you take the garbage out? What garbage? And then it goes from there. I go, the garbage of the kitchen. What kitchen? He goes like that. He's so busy.
Yeah.
He's so busy that I make the adjustment. I'm like, well, why don't you just ask him when it's really important? It's just relationships take a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of work,
Yeah, they do.
But you have a beautiful girl.
Oh, thank you.
Inside and out.
I know.
Yeah.
She's an angel.
She really is.
She really is an angel.
She is.
She is an angel. She's steered me in a way, like there's certain traits that she's like, that's not it.
Walks like an angel.
Yeah. Wait, I want to go back to, because, okay, so when you're a beautiful woman, you're going to meet a lot of douchebags.
Are you talking about me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like this? Or how do I look beautiful? Like this?
And then when you are funny, you see how many more douchebags there are.
Yeah.
Because I love a funny chick.
Yeah.
And like when you told me that story, I cried laughing. You were like, that'll be enough of that. Like, what a puss that guy is.
Yeah.
And so you must have encountered that a lot.
I did.
Guys get intimidated.
I did.
But you're not brash or annoying.
No, I'm not. I'm wonderful.
No, you are. You're like Alyssa. You're like I say that she's born in the wrong era. She should have born Audrey Hepburn, Elizabeth Taylor. You guys are classy.
Thank you.
Which is rare now.
Thank you.
Do you find that the world is covered in sex more than ever?
I don't. I look at the cup half full instead of half empty.
See, Sandy, I know we have different Instagram feeds, but you see, it's like Sodom and Gomorra out here. Am I crazy to say that?
Well,
take your time.
I like some of the teachings about, I just don't look. I don't see that because I have to stay where I'm going to get the positive and the positive reinforcement. I mean, it's first you think it, then you feel it, because the thoughts, my feelings are my feelings, my thoughts are my thoughts, but my actions are my life.
Ooh, that's good.
I wish it was original.
That's so good.
Right?
Yeah.
What I do is everything. I can feel hurt. I can feel resentful. I can think about it. But if I take the higher road, that's everything.
Mm-hmm.
That just everything. So that's my thought process. I try to go not with my first thought. That's usually the lower thought. The second thought is where God has a chance to come in, and then it elevates.
And you say God has a chance to come in, meaning you get better inspiration.
Yes, a higher response. I'm proactive instead of reactive.
Mm-hmm. Now this started to sound like a religious podcast, and we're not. But Sandy is very She's not religious. She's spiritual.
That's right.
You are.
That's right. I try to be.
No, you are.
Thank you.